Hi guys, thank you so much for coming. We're so excited here at Squarespace to be hosting C4Q's iOS Demo Day. We're thrilled to see what the students have worked on over the last 9 or 10 months. Here at Squarespace, we actually have quite a long-standing relationship with C4Q already. We partnered with them last year in our Giving Tuesday initiative, and we're so excited to be able to continue that relationship tonight. So without further ado, I'm gonna hand it over to our wonderful VP of Engineering, John Colton. He'll tell you a little bit more about Squarespace, about our relationship with C4Q before handing it off to Juke. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Lulu. So welcome to our office. We're really proud of this office. We moved in here about a year ago, and one of the things we wanted to get out of it was to be able to host events like this. So it's really exciting. We just did our Hack Week the week before last. So I was up here last on this stage, thanking everybody for the 38 presentations that we saw during the week. So it's exciting to be able to do this again for someone else's set of projects. As Lulu said, we really appreciate the mission that C4Q has. I think the New York tech ecosystem is growing, and it's growing fast, and it's been growing over the years, but increasing economic opportunities and promoting innovation are really key to growing, and we have to expand the group of people that we're looking at to do that. I think that over the last few years, coding boot camps have been a bigger part of our tech ecosystem. So thanks for participating, and we look forward to welcome you into the tech ecosystem here. We're really happy to work with C4Q. We started about a year ago. We did a Giving Tuesday partnership where we honored a number of presentations, which was great. We have volunteers working alongside with students, and we also have some participation in demo days. Diversity at Squarespace is really important. Diversity in the tech industry is really important, and I think we can probably all agree diversity for our country is really important to talk about and do something about. So it's exciting to see such a diverse group of people come together and work on some tech projects. I think I'll get out of your way and let you get started, and welcome Juke up to do all the logistics and kick things off. So thank you.
Thanks so much, Sean. Hello, everyone. Thank you all for coming to Demo Day for our iOS cohort. We're so glad all of you can join us here tonight as our developers launch their apps and their careers in tech. Before we get started, just thank you again to John for the opening remarks and for hosting all of us here in this beautiful space. Also want to give a quick shout out to the extended Squarespace team, Cien, Farah, Ken, McLean, Cheyenne, and Ruben, and everyone else here at Squarespace for working with us throughout the year and also for hosting us tonight. And I want to thank especially the amazing Lulu Chang, who you all saw, for being such an incredible champion of our work, for helping us develop this first Giving Tuesday campaign this past November. And just to give you a little background, last year we highlighted 5 of our graduates who represents really everyone here in this room to provide a glimpse of their journeys to becoming either iOS or Android developers or becoming entrepreneurs. And each of them shared how they were able to help become leaders here and change the face of technology here in New York and across the country, and all on the beautiful Squarespace platform. So we're really grateful for everyone here at Squarespace for supporting our mission, for providing pathways into technology for more diverse New Yorkers. Can we please give them all a round of applause? So while you're here attending tonight, feel free to tweet at us and at the students and also at our panelists, share your thoughts. We hope to capture some of your stories as we have the night. And before we start into do demos, I just want to tell you a little about organization C4Q. And our mission is really simple. We believe that people from every community and every background should have the opportunity to learn to code, gain a great job in technology, and also create the companies of the future. Our work focuses on Queens, but really about what it represents as the most diverse county in America and one of the most diverse places in the world. Now, tech is the second largest sector in New York, At the same time, almost half New Yorkers live in poverty. If you never graduate from college in New York City, your average lifetime income is $27,000 a year. We know and want that as New York City's tech community continues to grow, that it's fully reflective and representative of everyone within our broader community. We believe there's talent from all backgrounds, so we work to identify the most talented people, which you'll meet many of them here tonight, and create these pathways so that more people can be involved in technology. And we're really proud that our program reflects the community that we live in, and with students from across New York City and across all backgrounds. Beyond being gender balanced and representing and empowering underrepresented minorities, we serve the 65% of New Yorkers who don't have a college education. That's important to us because we know technology can enable more people, increase economic opportunities, and we've seen this through the program with measurable success, increasing the salaries of our graduates from on average $18,000 to $85,000 a year, and creating new leaders that are representative of our society. Graduates from our previous cohort have started launching their careers. They've gone from working as waiters and assistants to writing code at some of the best companies here in New York City and across the country. And our community continues to grow. So presenting tonight is one of 3 cohorts we have trained this year. That means in just a few months, almost 100 new talented developers will be entering the New York City tech ecosystem. And we're really proud that our alumni continue to give back and make impact after they graduate. They're both working at amazing companies, launching companies, starting meetups and leading meetups, and coming back to teach as well. We have a bunch of alumni who are instructors and also teaching assistants in the program. And many of our alumni are here tonight. I think we have about 17 of them in the audience. So can you guys stand up and let's give them a round of applause for continuing to be involved in kind of our work. Today, you'll see the products and passion behind the developers of our program, but this wouldn't be possible without our fantastic funders and supporters. We're really fortunate to work with the very best organizations across business, philanthropy, and technology who believe in our mission, and also all our students here, all our graduates, and our larger community. So let's give our sponsors one round of applause as well. As part of tonight's event, we've asked a great group of STEAM leaders in tech to join us as panelists and share their real-world industry perspective. They will be representing the audience as they ask the teams questions following their demos, providing valuable feedback and insight on the apps you'll see tonight. So let's meet tonight's panelists. First, we have Natasha Krasnov. She's the Director of Engineering here at Squarespace. And before Squarespace, she was originally from Moscow, but before Squarespace, she ran a set of teams focused on database vulnerability detection and monitoring suite at a startup called Application Security, and was formerly the Director of Software Engineering in Yahoo's Mobile and Emerging Products Group, in charge of Yahoo's Finance Engineering here in New York. Next, we have Andrew Hogue, who is the VP of Engineering at Blue Apron, and building software across consumer, fulfillment, and data. And they deliver fresh, high-quality, sustainable food to their customers. In a prior life, he was head of engineering at Foursquare. For those that know me, I love Foursquare. And senior staff engineer at Google. And we're really grateful for Andrew for being a champion of our work. And his team has really been involved both sponsoring our work and also hired one of our grads to work at Blue Apron, and really believing in kind of the mission and in their actions really live by it. So let's give Andrew and Blue Apron a round of applause as well. We have Josh Miller, who's an entrepreneur in residence at Thrive Capital. Josh originally was at Princeton, but left his senior year to build Branch Media, which was backed by the founders of Twitter and BuzzFeed. At Branch, he was involved in C4Q, became one of our earliest board members, and so really thankful to have him back in New York and involved with the program. In 2014, branch was acquired by Facebook, and he worked there for a while to build different products. In August of 2015, Josh left New York to go to DC and joined President Obama's administration and served as the first ever product director at the White House. Recently, he returned to New York and now serves as a EIR at Thrive Capital, where he's working on exploring how technology can better serve all Americans. Next, we have George Pishnik, who's the founder and CEO of 53. George and 53 connects the dots between engineering, design, and business. Before starting 53, he co-founded Pioneer Studios, which is a design venture fund where he led the incubation of Microsoft Contour and other mobile products. Today, George has grown 53 to almost 100 people. They've raised over $45 million in venture capital, and their products reach over 15 million creative users worldwide. Last, we have Zohar Yordani, who's at Facebook, and he leads several product teams there. He was previously led both product as well as design, content, and data teams when he was chief product officer at Newton, and also before that, VP of product at ZocDoc. Prior to that, he's also worked at a number of startups, including Call Street, a fintech startup that he sold to FactSet, and prior to that, he served as global head of product management at Thomson Reuters. I'm really excited for having them all joining us and providing their leadership and support of all the students here. I know everyone here is really excited to hear from you all and give your feedback. So let's give them a round of applause for spending their time here with us all here tonight. Thank you, panelists. And with that, I want to introduce Joanne Yoon, who's the managing director of our Access Code program, to tell you a little bit more about the program. Let's welcome Joanne.
Hey, 3.2. Woo! Hey, guys. Let me get my bearings. That was a long walk from the side of the stage. So good evening, everyone. It's so great to have you here, and thanks again to Squarespace. Like GK said, my name is Joanne Yoon, and I'm the Managing Director of Access Code. I'm thrilled to be sharing with you guys tonight the iOS apps that these developers have been building over the past month. But before we get started, let me rewind and tell you a little bit more about where we came from, what we've been up to for the past several months. So just 7 months ago, we launched the selection process in order to find the students that we felt could be New York City's next leaders in tech. We received over 1,200 applications, and after a rigorous process, including interviews, online coursework, and an in-person JavaScript workshop, we identified the amazing group of developers that you will soon see demoing for you guys tonight. So these numbers are incredibly impressive, but they don't tell the full story by any means. We selected developers that demonstrated passion, determination, and ambition. In short, the values that we think that we hope that we embody also at C4Q. So we selected these individuals not only because we thought that they would be exceptional programmers, but also because we felt that they had the potential to be leaders in their communities. So who you'll see presenting tonight are adults from all over New York City, from a very wide variety of backgrounds, and poised to shape the growth of tech in the city. So for the past 7 months, I have had the privilege of spending time with these developers on what has been an intense journey. Access Code is a 10-month program focused on the 3 pillars of technical training, industry immersion, and career readiness. So through lectures, projects, pair programming, and a lot of individual hard work, these developers have gained hands-on programming experience in iOS development. So I've watched as they learn to whiteboard, talk about code, learning Swift and Xcode, and feeding their passion for problem solving, which more so than anything else, I think is the characteristic that is going to take them far in their tech careers. So if you compare the then till now, I think you can see that they've come a long way. I mean, I wish I could even do what's on the left, so I shouldn't say anything. But you guys have built your portfolio of apps, testing the limits of your skills and pushing yourselves every time to become better. So you guys have come a long way and now have learned the skills that it'll take to build complex software that you guys will be building in your future jobs as iOS developers. So before I kind of launch into the demos, I just want to take a moment. As they say, it takes a village. And so I want to give a brief mention of all of the people that it takes to get us there. Our work is really not possible without the community of volunteers who work tirelessly to help our students with especially the technical portion of their learning. So from teaching special topics workshops to working one-on-one with students, our volunteers really share invaluable learning and knowledge. So I would like to thank all of the volunteers that are listed here who have helped support our mission and our students. Please give them a warm round of applause. And let me give a couple of shout outs as well. So we love all of our volunteers, but I just want to specifically identify a few that have made a huge impact, I think, in the progress of the iOS team. James Turnbull, who has been to nearly every event that we've hosted and led an awesome interview workshop with Dion Ridley, another amazing volunteer from our family. Bharat Ayar, who led storytelling workshops with all of our students. I don't know if you guys still remember Bharat's workshop, but I hope that you guys gleaned a lot of great insights from that will play into your personal intros tonight. Jack Flinterman, who led review sessions for class and served as a product mentor for teams that you're going to see today. Cameron Spickert, who's been volunteering with us since Access Code 2.2 last year and continues to lend his expertise and guidance. And finally, to Giovanni, Jay, and Jamal, who are 2.2 iOS alums and have spent many long hours at HPP helping students take their first steps. I think having paved the way, you were incredibly valuable to the students. So it's great to see you guys all here. One other component of our volunteer engagement is the C4Q Brain Trust. So in addition to the volunteers that we just talked about that spend time one-on-one with students, we work very closely with industry leaders as part of our C4Q Brain Trust. So these leaders have dedicated their time and energy to helping us build the actual curriculum. Tech is a very fast-changing industry, so it's so helpful and valuable for us to be working with tech leaders who can share their point of view about where the industry is going and make sure that we're building our curriculum in such a way that we can make sure the devs are pointed in the right direction. So please help me thank David, Alan, Ash, and all of the other engineers from these companies who've contributed to our curriculum, because we literally couldn't do it without your help. Thank you. Okay, so finally, this is a graphic that the developers have seen many, many times. I've talked a little bit about the intensity of the program and the different components, and I just want to take a moment to highlight where they are right now. So they've completed 6 months of technical training, worked for the past 30 days on this portfolio project, and they're going to share the demos of those projects with you guys tonight. So yeah, just a quick word from me. iOS developers, you really inspire me, not only with all of the technical strides that you guys have taken, but the unique class bonds that you have forged through the months and many campuses that you have inhabited over time. So I'm really proud of you guys, great work, and I can't wait to see your demos. Without further ado, I would like to hand it over to Jason Gresh and Louis Tur, the iOS instructional team, to come up on stage, and they will lead us into the portion you guys have been waiting for, the demos. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Joanne. Hi, everyone. I'm Jason. This is Louis. We're the instructors of the iOS development cohort of Access Code, and part of the team dedicated to making sure our developers are fully technically prepared. Learning to code is not easy. It requires an incredible amount of dedication and persistence. Over the past 7 months, these bright, ambitious people have really brought such passion and effort. I'm so impressed and pleased with them and what they have accomplished in this short but intense period of time. Pride is a word I've heard in this context, but to use it would be taking too much credit for the work of others. All through the program, our students have been the key agents of their own learning. The capstone projects that you're about to see exemplify this. Learning to code never stops. I can say with confidence that this experience has been as transformative for me as I believe it has been for the students. I thank C4Q and the students for all you've helped me learn.
Hey, I'm gonna walk over here because I'm actually mostly gonna be talking to the students, but everyone too. Hi, so I'm Lewis, I'm the other instructor. And in those 7 months that you've had your head down in coding, it's kind of really difficult and not easy to see progress. I've been where you are, and I remember, like, it's not easy to see progress. It's difficult to tell if anything actually has happened at all. Improvement is gradual, it's incremental, it's irregular. And it's also not easy to reflect on the progress that you had. Your improvement is doubted, it's minimized, it's obscured by everyday life. But fortunately, that's why myself and Jason are here. We can see that progress clearly. And we have the perspective to be able to reflect on that progress. And I just want to tell you that it's real and it's quite compelling. So well done, everyone. So I'm gonna hand it off back to Jason.
Thank you. Thanks, Lewis. So 1 month ago, our students kicked off the process for the projects that they're demoing tonight. The ideas are all student-driven. Engineering is a team sport, and all of our developers worked in groups, combining their technical, design, and project management skills. So each team will begin by introducing themselves, and they have 6 minutes to demo their apps for you. After each demo, we will pass the mic to the panelists, well, not while I'm speaking, for 2 minutes of Q&A with the team. And then at the end, at the end of all the demos, we'll have a round of comments from our panelists to close out the evening. So let's get started.
And first up, this project is definitely gonna make a splash. It's Splash Dash.
Hey everybody, good evening. We are the team behind Splash Dash. My name's Harry and I served as our project manager. A few years ago, I was working for the public health system of New York City, and over the course of a few years, I transitioned onto a team responsible for software implementation for our city's hospitals. I worked alongside some great developers, and I was really impressed by their ability to handle critical issues in real time. I realized they were making a huge impact for millions of New Yorkers with their day-to-day activities, and I want to do the same. So 6 months ago, I joined C4Q, and now I'm an iOS developer. Looking forward, I really want to work for a music tech or sports company and make an impact with the product that I help to make.
Hey guys, my name is Tom. I graduated from Blue College 2 years ago. Before I joined the C4Q, I was a computer technician. One thing I enjoy the most is troubleshooting, which is more like solving the puzzle with the last piece in my hand. Finally, I saw the opportunity to join the C4Q, this lovely family, and began my journey as a developer. And the most important thing is I found my true love here. It is coding. And in the future, I'm looking forward to working in the medical field in order to improve our healthcare service with technology.
Hi all, my name is Sabrina. Shortly after college, I interned as an environmental educator with the state of New York. During my time there, I got the opportunity to go to a lot of STEM fairs where I saw very cool simulations of VR, I saw games, and I realized this is what I want to do. I want to get into tech, and specifically coding. So I started to learn to code on my own and then found C4Q, where I am now an iOS developer. In the future, I hope to build really cool apps that can impress others.
Let me introduce you guys our 4-member team. Russell, known as Couch Potato. One of Russell's New Year resolution is to complete a 5K. However, after the first week of training, he lost the motivation because he doesn't have the friend, close by friend to keep encouraging him and keep going. And also the member fee of the gym is kind of expensive. Also, keep running on the same routine is kind of getting boring.
So our friend Russell goes onto the App Store, and what he gets is a bunch of different fitness trackers. And the problem with these fitness trackers is that most of them are built for seasoned athletes, and Russell is just getting started. He needs something that's going to get him off the couch. He also finds cool games like Zombie Run, which give him an auditory signal, but what Russell's looking for is something that's going to give him complete engagement and something that he can have fun with.
So he ran into Splash Dash. Splash Dash is not just a running app. It is a movement-based strategy game. So the goal of Splash Dash is to cover as much territory as you can with your team's colors. So as Russell's running, he's dropping paint along his route for other players to see. But this is a strategy game. So as he runs into other players' routes, he's actually converting that part of the map into his color. So let's see how this app runs.
So before a user can play Splash Dash, they'll have to register and select a team. And the importance of the team is that that'll determine the color of the splash as they move around the map. So our friend Russell has been onboarded already. He's working on his New Year's resolution for about a week now, so he can get straight to splashing and dashing. So he logs right in, and once he puts his credentials, he's dropped into his local setting, and a number of different things become immediately obvious to him. He can see that there's 4 hours left in today's contest, and he can see a scoreboard with a live update of the score of the team's rankings for the day. So clearly orange and teal are up, and you can see on the map, there's splashes everywhere. So Splash Dash exhibits a truly low barrier of entry. Once he taps start, he can choose to walk, he can jog, he can run, he can do whatever makes him comfortable as he navigates around the map. And as he moves around, his strategy changes based on the environment that he encounters, which changes on a run-to-run basis. So right now we can see that he's on the purple team and he's moving around. We see some teal and some orange. So he has two main objectives when he moves around. He can choose to go down an unmarked path and add points to the purple team, or he can intentionally overlap orange, teal, or green, not only raising his score, but lowering theirs at the same time. So strategy plays a huge role in removing the monotony of running, which is what Russell was looking for the whole time. So once he hits the stop button, his activity is sent immediately to our real-time database where he can view it later.
So Russell can view the run he just ran in the My Activities on the bottom. So he can see his duration, the distance, the speed, as well as all previous runs that he ran. This helps him track his progress on his way to his 5K. Additionally, he can see the winners of each day's contest by clicking all activities, where you see a time-lapse rendering of all users' runs during that day. This helps him see how he is contributing to his team's scores for each day, as well as figure out his strategy for future runs. Now Russell can train for his 5K in a fun way with our app.
Here's are the 3 major updates we're gonna have in the future. The first one is the private game. We're gonna have allow the user to play with their friend and make a connection with the local community. And second is to implementing a power-up or booster item on the map to include some randomness to the game. And the third is to expand our leaderboard system to have a ranking system for individual user to create a more competitive environment and foster the engagement.
We would like to thank David, our tech mentor, as well as Sebastian, our design mentor, as well as our instructors, Ben, Lewis, and Jason. We invite you all to check out Splash Dash and go paint the town. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Splash Dash. Let's get some questions from the panelists.
Hey, incredible presentation, great jokes, but I was most impressed with the thoroughness of the app. And every time you swiped up, I was like, "Well, there's more." So it was very impressive how thorough the product was. My question for you is, as you were testing it yourself and hopefully going on runs and living the Splash Dash lifestyle, how often did you look at the phone when you were running in order to play that strategy? And did that change how you thought about designing the app, since you want people to run, not look at their phone?
Sure. Yeah. So when we went on our trial runs, we kind of just went around the neighborhood and tried to see where the splashes were showing up. And what we realized is that initially we would look at the phone, we would get some sort of idea of the environment, and then every single time we did that, we would change our run, and we realized it was making a unique experience every single time once we did that. So we don't actively encourage people to have the phone out, but it's more so for seeing initially what's going on and then evaluating maybe at some point, like a quarter through your run or halfway through. And
That makes sense. It does get boring when you do the same run every day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that was awesome. I don't know if you guys know that one of the early things that Dennis Crowley, the founder of Foursquare, did as when he was exploring location was he made a live Pac-Man game through the streets of Manhattan, where you actually had to run and there was one guy that was a ghost and they were chasing the Pac-Man.
Mm-hmm.
So exploring the streets is kind of a theme in New York, I think. Did you guys think at all about social features for this? So, where you would have other people that also competing? Would you be on the same team against them? Other ways you'd interact with other users besides just the colors?
Okay, so actually the funny part of what you just mentioned is we wanted to start with doing a live Pac-Man. That was our original idea. But we decided that it was we couldn't figure out the safety issues of that because we didn't want someone to keep staring at their phone as they ran. So that's why we designed this. The second part of your question, what was it? Oh, okay. Yeah. So we were talking. So we decided to design a global game at first, just to. This is just version 1, but we do plan on creating private games where one user could design, figure out which people they want to invite into this private game, and just play within a friend within a smaller time period. Thank you.
Thanks, Splash Dash. Okay, please join me in welcoming our next team to the stage, WeLearn.
We'll get there.
That's for later. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming out today. Let's put that slide up. All right. I would like to start this demo off with saying when we learn, everyone wins. It doesn't make sense right now, but later on it will. My name is Karen. After graduating Binghamton University, I was working at JP Morgan Chase, where I had the chance to enhance my skills in management, operations, and also contributing to major projects. Seeing how technology was disrupting consumer banking made me see technology as more of a career rather than just a hobby. 7 months ago, I was like, Swift, what? Get? Like, I don't understand this. But thanks to C4Q's inclusive environment, I was able to become an iOS developer. Now, as an iOS developer, I would love to work in a company where I can enhance my skills even more and work on awesome apps. I would also, in the long run, love to help Latino women like myself launch their careers in tech. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Marty Hernandez Avedon. I never thought I would be where I am today. I was raised in foster care. I was adopted at age 10, kicked out at age 20, and started my transition as a transgender male at age 27. Coding gives me an amazing way to express myself, to solve problems, and to make somebody's day a little bit better. These are the same motivations that drove me to study graphic design and illustration in college. Coding is just taking it to the next level. And now we have Chris.
Hello, my name is Christopher. I graduated from Lehman College with a bachelor's in mathematics. And after college, I went on to work in the South Bronx as a IT field tech. I was always one to commute to work by bicycle, and one day I started to see the need for advocacy surrounding cycling in the Bronx. So I wanted to create a website in order to reach more people. I soon realized that I didn't have the skills to create a website, so I sought out resources that would teach me the skills. I found C4Q, and for the past 7 months, I've been working really hard to become an iOS developer. And I'm very excited to getting out there and building new and exciting apps.
Hey, I'm Vic, and I'm the tech lead for this project. Prior to C4Q, I was a digital marketing jack of all trades, where I specialized in campaign management and data analytics for TV shows, startups, EDM music. I joined up with access code so I could add mobile development and comprehension of tech jokes to my repertoire. As the president of my cohort, I strive to make knowledge accessible to my fellow students, which is what we try to do with our app here, as you'll see upcoming. I hope to work for a company that shares these values of community and accessibility and understanding. Thank you. As any marketer would tell you, you should always start with a clear-cut problem. Luckily, this time around, I didn't have to make one up. As a student for C4Q for the last 6 or 7 months, I've been quickly overwhelmed with all the information and resources coming my way. Oh, to be honest, I was overwhelmed by week 2, but Anyway, when stuck with this heavy workload, the last thing I want to do is wade through hundreds of open tabs, bookmarks, and messages just to get that grade that I need to look at, the homework assignment, or class notes. Our competitors, unfortunately, were a little cluttered and unorganized, and I won't name them here. So we interviewed instructors and drew on our experiences to create an app that could solve all this. Chris, would you kindly tell them about this app?
Sure, Vic. So WeLearn is a clutter-free resource management application that enables instructors to easily organize their class structure. And each class is powered by Google Sheets, where WeLearn filters and distributes that information to each student respectively in real time. Karen, why don't you walk us through this?
Are you guys excited? All right, so Vic is waking up, and aside from knowing what the weather would be like, he wants to know what's going on in class. He already boarded into WeLearn earlier, so he's just gonna use his email and password as credentials to get within the app. So here's he putting his email in and his password, and while those credentials validate, we will see what goes on next, right? So right now, when you come into the app, you can see our agenda. When you scroll down, you see past agendas in reverse chronological order for Vic's convenience in case he missed a day or he wants to look at something that he did previously. Above is a daily agenda where he could see things that need to get done today. Today, we're doing demo day, so we're gonna look at all the things we need to do today. We checked our prior lessons, so now we're gonna share a good link. Here, Victor is very eager to share a link within the app. So we're gonna go into the Safari browser, choose a link. Also, conveniently, it's the Squarespace website. He chooses the WeLearn app. He can share it And it allows them to put a little message about what the browser is about or the resource for the students to see. I guess he loves this place. And then he's gonna post it. Let's go see if it updated within our links screen. There it is. He loves Squarespace. What's next on the agenda? All right, let's check for new announcements. We think that announcements are very imperative for our students to keep on track with what's going on in class. So these are various announcements within the class. Each announcement is encompassed with the message, the author, and the date, and it's also in reverse chronological order. So what's today is the most important for the student. What's next, Vic? We checked off assignments, so now we can look how pretty you are. They're not talking about me, they're talking about Vic. One of the cool features about WeLearn is that we get to see the profile. And here, Vic is a very happy guy, so that's the picture he depicts for his profile. And we get to see the various badges he's won as a student, from second best to perfect attendance to the best dancer. But there's something wrong with his grades, right? You see those little question marks? We should update that, Vic. Let's show him. So here, he's missing Unit 1's midterms grade. He's gonna update it. Oh, he got a 9,001. Whew. So let's go back and see. And we have a live update of Victor's grade. So one of the cool things about WeLearn, we keep the familiar environment for our instructors, yet make it very not cluttered app for the student. Here is our assignments, which I skipped on, but it's telling Vic a very special date at the top, which is that he has 79 days to graduate, and then at the bottom is all the various assignments he's done before, with the grade and something to describe it. And if he clicks on it, he could go to the website if he wants to review the material even more. So what's next on the list, Vic? Oh, looks like we have to ponder the future. We're done with our demo.
Thank you, Karen. So for the future, we hope to implement push notifications so that students can know about announcements or be updated on grades on the go. We also hope to implement a tag search so that announcements and important links don't get lost. Bookmarking, again, just so students can tag very specific announcements or links that they want to go back to, and a teacher-facing user interface so that the app feels more integrated for both instructor and for students.
We would like to thank our instructors, Ben, Jason, and Lewis, and our mentors, Akiva, Albert, and Steven, and Squarespace for having us. Thank you.
Great demo, you guys. Congratulations. Quick question. Have you guys looked at what other apps exist in this space and what makes yours different and special for somebody to use?
We sure have. As students ourselves, we've dealt with competing apps, and they're a little clunky, a little not up to date. And we felt that a reason for that is the barrier to entry for teachers. There's many different ways to enter data, share documents, and whatnot. But the problem with that is a lot of that gets lost if you don't know how to deal with tech. So we simplified things by only giving you one option, Google Sheets. It's fairly easy to use. I mean, Excel spreadsheets, teachers have to deal with gradebooks. Felt that that was probably the best way.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think the question on everyone's mind is, did you try to use this at C4Q? Did that work out?
You try it out next year if you like.
I like that
Our
attitude.
technical training was done prior, but the reason why we really wanted to do this is because, like we said in the demo, it's very hard to keep track of all the things going on in class. So we really wanted to target like bootcamp environments where all these links and resources can be shared for the student, because it's really frustrating just to learn coding in the first time, you know? So like having a simpler interface for the student themselves is what we were really trying to target.
That's awesome. Thanks.
this is a super comprehensive product. The main database here is Google Sheets, as I
Yeah,
take.
Google Sheets to power each class and Firebase to distribute information. So, we minimize security risks of students looking at other students' information.
And how did you guys find out what information to surface? Were there any interesting pieces of information you were surprised that students wanted?
Not necessarily. I just mainly drew upon what we had and what instructors wanted to serve to the students. I mean, I really pester Ben a lot about my grades or homework assignments, or I keep asking on Slack, basically our messaging app, about what links we've shared like weeks prior. So instead of doing that, and instead of keeping track of it myself, I built an app to do that for us. Excuse me.
Sure. Thank you, WeLearn. Okay, next up is Navty.
How's everyone doing tonight? Going well? Woo. Are you guys ready to see another amazing app? We are Navty, making daily safety a reality. My name is Niti Shah, and a year ago today, I was a pre-med student at Hunter College, pursuing a double degree in psychology and English. I found my way to coding when I went to a JavaScript workshop with a friend and fell in love with coding. So much so that I decided to change my career path to pursue my newfound passion of coding instead. After graduating from Hunter College, I taught myself JavaScript for 2 months and got into the Access Code program, where I learned how to make such amazing and innovative apps like Navty. Moving forward, I would love to work with a company where I can learn and grow my expanding skill set.
My name is Cadell Gregory. When my dad gave me my first computer, the first thing I used it for was to play video games. And every device since then has been a tool to play the latest and greatest video games. I tried to make my own video games using basic game engines, but realized that I needed some type of coding to do it. So after graduating from the University at Albany, I made it my mission to become a developer. And my mission led me to C4Q, where I became an iOS developer, where I hope to make amazing apps.
Hello, my name is Edward Anchundia, and I have a story for you. 2 years ago, I was at the Metropolitan Museum of Art, in all the art that was exhibited. And I asked myself this question: whatever happened to my creativity? So on this journey to find that spark, I started pursuing my undergrad in liberal arts. I started nibbling on JavaScript, HTML, CSS, Ruby, and ultimately it led me here to C4Q, where I became expressive with this beautiful language of Swift.
Thank you, Edward. My name is Stanley. I came to America at age of 19. After 2 years, I decided to join high school without realizing the age requirement. Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to go to high school, but I took GED, joined LaGuardia Community College with a computer science major. While I was at college, I interned for a startup company. Working with some of the young talented entrepreneur and developer inspired me to specialize on iOS development. So after graduating from the college, I joined C4Q. Now, thanks C4Q, now I can build a fully functional app. Thank you.
So the problem that we're trying to resolve is personal safety. Due to the steady increase in nonviolent crimes such as larceny and robberies in the past few years, personal safety has become a big issue. So it, made me think, how can I, if I'm going on a run using Splash Dash or walking home late at night, get home safely?
All right, so these are some of the apps that try to address the issue of safety and navigation, but they have many limitations. Let's take a closer look at famous Google Map. It shows you the fastest way to get to your destination in real time, but it may not be the safest one. So would it be cool if there is an app that has all these features? So as you can imagine, we have that. We call it Navty, making daily safety a reality. So demographic we are targeting is every human being as long as you are in New York. So without further ado, let's get into the demo.
All right, guys. So our teammate Miti was playing Splash Dash, and she decided that she wasn't really certain of the area that she was in. So she decided she wanted to download Navty. Her friends hit her up to go to this new cool place called Mary's Fish Camp. So she decided to download the app and open it up. First thing you're going to be presented with is a nice little onboarding screen that's going to give you a little overview of the app. So you're going to be able to get the shortest or safest route, add emergency contacts in, get a little awareness of your location, and allow your emergency contacts to track you. So now that we're ready, we're going to press get started. And the first thing you're presented with is a little map view. And you're going to see there's crime points on the map. You could press the points to see what kind of crime it was. And the red ones are the ones that were the most recent. So first thing she's going to do is go to the menu and add an emergency contact in. She wants Edward to be her contact, so she's going to put Edward in. And now that Edward's in there, she's going to press the enter destination search bar and add in Mary's Fish Camp. All right, there it is. All right, so she realizes that this route, even though it's the fastest, goes over this crime point. And she doesn't really want to go that way. So we give the user the ability to change their route with a long press. So she's going to do a long press and change the route. She likes this route, so she's going to press the navigation on the side to get started. You're going to be presented with an estimated time of arrival and step-by-step directions on how to get there.
We at Navty, we really take safety seriously. And one of the features that Cadell mentioned was actually getting tracked, right? So we're gonna repeat the same process. We're gonna go to the menu and the default value for tracking is off. Let's turn it on and repeat that same navigation process. He's gonna put in the address, just like we normally do. Mary Fish Camp, great. So we like this route, it's not that bad. We're gonna go ahead and navigate. Great. So one of the abilities, since we are tracking, we are sending a URL to the person that we have as our emergency contact with a unique identifier number or key. So let's send that over to Edward. Great. One of the reasons why we wanted to do a website was because we understand that not everyone has the application or not everyone has an iPhone. So we took on the task to incorporate our HTML, CSS, JavaScript skills to make this beautiful website. And there we go. We can see where she's going as she moves. And that's tracking. This is also available through the app as well. All you need is that tracking ID and you're all set. So let's simulate her getting to her destination. So once she gets to her destination, she's able to see a push notification that responds if she wants to notify her loved ones or emergency contacts, a text saying that she's home. She puts in her password. Great. The text is already populated with a message and her emergency contacts. All she has to do is press send, and she's all set. This is also available. This notification would also be available on the Watch app.
All right, so I hope you all like this feature. And then what's next, right? So not just in New York City, our priority is to take Navty global and provide safety everywhere. And then in addition to this, we are going to implement a community page where user can report the incidences from their local area. And finally, we will work with police database to get the real-time crime updates. So that is the future Navty. So back to Miti.
We just wanted to give a special thanks to our instructors, Ben, Lewis, and Jason, as well as our mentors, Cameron, Sebastian, and Chaitan, for all of their help. We couldn't do this without them. Thank you, and we are Navty.
That was great, Navty. Thank you. Now let's get some questions from the panelists.
What a simple, concise, and compelling presentation and product. I thought you portrayed the use case and the solution in a very simple, concise way. So thank you. As you mentioned, as I think very eloquently, Google Maps may get you in the fastest way, but not the safest. As you were looking at different neighborhoods in New York or different boroughs, did you notice edge cases that, areas that don't have a lot of crime versus areas that have a lot of crime? And did that change your thinking about what features were necessary for that? Like a lot of dots versus a little, did that change how you thought about the routes and the functionality?
So the reason we decided to allow the user to be able to change the route is because we didn't want to take on the job of giving them the safest route to go. So it's more of they choose, because if you see all the dots, it's kind of overwhelming because it's going to cover all of New York. There is no, I don't want to scare you guys. But it does cover all of it.
Well, I think empowering the user to make the best decision is
Exactly.
a really cool solution.
Curious what the data source is. Did you plug into something to get that data out, the robbery data?
Yeah, for the crime points, we used the NYPD database. So we got all of the crime reported to them for the past year, and we were able to put it on the map.
So anything in the past year would show up. So if something happened last week, it wouldn't be weighted any differently.
Anything that happened in 2016, because they won't let out anything in 2017 because they might still have open cases. So that's why we want to in the future be able to get in contact with them and sort of work with them in order to be able to use their real-time, crime updates to make this safer. And we also want to implement the community page so that, if this may not have the 2017 crimes, but like if something happens in your area and you know about it, you can put that in there and you can let everyone know.
Okay. Very cool. Very polished app. Thanks for that.
Thank you, Navty. Up next, we have Kagami.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us. My name is Annie. Before we start, I'd like to introduce ourselves. I'll go first. I grew up in Hong Kong. Ever since I was little, I've always loved going to museums and satisfying my curiosity. I remember begging my mom to bring me to science museums to play with soap bubbles for the first time. I couldn't wait to tell all my friends at school. But now I can share the newest exhibits with my friends in just the tap of a button. Thanks to C4Q, I've discovered my passion for mobile development. Coding gives me the satisfaction of learning and a new way to express myself. Going forward, I would like to help spread the awareness of diversity in tech and give back to the community. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Marcel. Back then, I used to hack into my Linux-based handheld device just to play video games. And since then, I knew I've always wanted to be into tech. I would find myself on Code Academy and even taught myself to be certified in IT. A friend of mine told me about C4Q and it seemed perfect for me. So I applied, and when I got in, I was really excited. 7 months later, I'm in love with coding, and I hope to start my career as a developer where I can continue my love for hacking.
Hey, my name's Eric. As a child, I only ever wanted two things in life, a puppy and an Iron Man suit. I'm gonna let you guys guess which one I don't have yet, and I'm getting tired of waiting for someone else to build me a puppy. So with this beautiful prototype, I've taken my first step in fulfilling my life's purpose. I also like rock climbing. Thank you.
Hey. The name's Ashir,
but feel free to call me Yvonne. My interest in computer science started with some projects that I worked on a couple years back with some of my closest friends. Fast forward to last summer, and aside from dabbing into a bit more of code, I learned a lot of animation. But I wasn't satisfied. So that's where C4Q's Access Code program comes into the picture, where the perfect opportunity to present itself and where I ultimately set out to attain that satisfaction. Moving forward, I'm big on animation and gaming, so if your company is invested in either or both of those, I'd be more than interested to work and grow with you. Thank you.
So, does everyone here like puppies or kittens? Me too. It has nothing to do with the presentation. I just wanted to ask. So, the real question is, does everyone look at a mirror before they go out in the morning? Raise your hand. Okay, so for those who didn't raise your hand, you should probably consider buying one. Now, does everyone check their phone when they wake up? Okay. Does everyone wish that they could sleep in for just 5 more minutes in the morning? Cool. Don't worry, there are only 10 more questions. Just kidding. Now, for those of you who did raise your hands to all 3 questions, we have a solution for you. Let me introduce to you Kagami. Kagami is a mirror with a heads-up display with information shown from a set of customized widgets. Eric, would you like to walk us through the demo?
Sure, let's dive in. So when Marcel opens the app for the first time, he will be greeted with a 4-slide walkthrough. It's very simple. One shows where the widgets go, what's displayed. One shows where the widgets rest when you don't use them, how the two interact, and the ability to customize them. So let's click that dive in button. And let's say Marcel likes weather. So he's going to drag that onto the mirror. And he likes weather in Celsius. And yeah, it's on the mirror now. We're also magicians. So Marcel likes Celsius. He's going to tap that widget, flick that switch to the C, and hit the check mark. And it should have changed. So one thing Marcel also really likes is his face. So he's going to get that out of the way and move that to the top right. Great. Now he's going to drag time up there. And he likes his time in 24-hour format. So he's, again, going to tap that widget, flick it to the 24-hour, and hit check. And let's just get the other 3 on. And what's great about these is they're just as customizable. So let's take the to-dos for an example. What's great about this is, first let's write some to-dos. Crush demo day, you could check that off. Be the best Street Fighter player in the world, he can't check that off yet. But what's great is when he goes home, he doesn't need to remember, he needs to check his phone. He can just look at the mirror and say, hey, I need some practice. So let's hit that check button. And you know what, let's get rid of the forecast. We're all pretty safe in here. And just flick that off anywhere on the screen and it should come off. And lastly, let's just mess with this quotes. I'm feeling lucky today. I might meet my true love. Let's go to the love quote. Hit that check mark. And it's going to change.
So Eric, you're telling me what makes Kagami so great is that it gives you the ability to customize what you want in the ways that existing solutions don't?
Yes, Annie. And existing solutions online are about $2,000.
But that's far too expensive. Our product is budget friendly. It gives you, the user, absolute control over what's displayed. So what we did was we grabbed a monitor, powered up the Raspberry Pi, which is basically a mini computer, and then put that Raspberry Pi behind a 2-way mirror. Then our app sends information that the user customizes all the way to outer space, aka Firebase, and then a web server grabs information and displays it beautifully onto the Kagami. Back to Annie.
Thanks, Yvonne. Oh.
And if you're a tech enthusiast such as us, always looking for little gadgets to mess around with or want a smart mirror because you think they're awesome, we have a blog post that lays out what you need to build the mirror and instructions on how to set up the Raspberry Pi. And we know you'll have just as much fun as us building it. And Yvonne will let you guys know what we have planned next.
All right. Thanks, Marcel. So moving on, we want to make this open source. So we're currently in the middle of publishing API so that just about anyone can make and customize widgets. Furthermore, we also want to install more modules, particularly a voice module to allow users to interact with an AI perhaps, or even a motion sensor to look at the Raspberry Pi powered display to boot up when movement is detected. But don't worry, like these additions will only increase the price ever so slightly. And so Kagami will always remain as the best way to getting your hands on cutting edge technology along with full-blown customization. And
We would like to give a big thank you to C4Q, our instructors, Jason and Lewis, our program manager, Ben, the amazing web team, Charles and Samantha, and of course, our mentors, Zach, Steven, James, and Lucas. If you would like to take a closer look at our product, we'd love to show you after the demo. Kagami, change the way you see yourself. Thank you.
You hold it. You hold it. You hold it. I will show you.
That was awesome. I really appreciated that just learning Swift wasn't enough. You guys decided to go with Raspberry Pi and hardware on top of that. Like just take the level up just a little bit. So you said that you're keeping the price point low. You didn't actually mention like a target price point or like how you're planning to like market this. Like who do you mention this going direct to consumers? Is this something you sell to hotels or like, you know, is there kind of like a target customer base that you're really thinking about?
so target customer base is DIY, so people who like to tinker with gadgets. And I'm glad you asked about the prices because we have a slide just for that.
I'm a plant. $0. Nice. Yeah.
It's really nice work. I in particular enjoyed like a lot of the animation touches and finishes. I don't know who work those into it, like the lens glare and all that working by. Also, this was a super flashback for me. So many years ago, I saw like Bill Gates's house in the Microsoft Museum, and it had like a mirror in there. And you guys, and then it was always referred to as the clueless mirror from a film called Clueless. But in any case, like seeing it all come together right now is really special. And just want to say congratulations as a company that works on hardware and software, and bringing all that stuff together is just really challenging. I think it's great that you guys took that step.
Thank you. Very cool.
Is there so again, mind-blowing demo, congratulations. Of all the different widgets, was there one that you felt particularly compelled to as you were using it every day? I'm sure they were all helpful different times where you're like, actually I just love the clock, or like what was the thing that stood out to you guys most as the first users? You can, maybe each of you, I'm curious what.
I'd say time. Like I have a watch on and I still forget to look at it. But I mean,
I'm with you. I'm the same way.
And I mean, when we were like rehearsing and like testing out the mirror, like, you know, I'm just like, oh, what's the time? And then I just had to look at the mirror. I didn't even take out my phone. So definitely that.
It's gonna be time for me because I love laughing at that guy.
Yeah, I like the to-do list. So like if I'm out and about, I could put something there and it's in my mirror when I get home.
Thank you. Congratulations.
All right, thank you guys. I'll shake your hands.
Okay, thank you, Kagami. And next up is Lapze.
Hi, everybody. We are Team Modular, and we're going to present to you the app called Lapze, Recess for Adults. But before that, let me introduce you to the team. No.
Hello. My name is Jermaine Kelly, and as you can see, I'm also the face of C4Q because I'm everywhere. I'm affectionately known as George Uncle in my class. That's my handle for my LinkedIn, but enough about that. I was first introduced to tech after high school. I had no clue what I was going to do. So my dad, being a Caribbean parent, he signed me up for school, and I went there and I did pseudocode, and my mind was blown. Ever since then, I've loved programming. I've loved tech. I went to Monroe College, and my last semester, that's when Android just came out. I had to build an app, Android app, and in 2 weeks I had something up. And I was really, ever since then, I was just loved it. After that, I'm also a musician on the weekends, and it's my second love. And one thing I realize about music and tech coding is that they have some things that are very in common. When music, they're working together in tandem, it's beautiful. But when anything goes awry, it's a total destruction. So thank you.
Hello, I'm Madhushani. I'm currently a computer science undergraduate at Queen's College. I'm interested in bringing more women to technology, as I've seen the lack of female participation in my computer science classes throughout my undergraduate career, where I was the only girl or one of the very few girls in the class. So this has been very discouraging to me because I didn't really have anybody that I could relate with in my classes. So I'd like to become a mentor, especially to female youth, and encourage them to pursue an education in technology. Thank you.
And finally, I'm Myra Estel, and before C4Q, I was a research assistant at a clinical lab at my college. And I first dabbled in code, specifically web development, when a couple of teammates and I were trying to build an online tool that read people's emotions. And albeit it didn't work, but I found it fascinating that technology can be used to explore abstract mysteries such as the human mind. So I hope to continue my skill set and work for companies that believe robots will one day take over the world. But before that, oh, thank you. But before that, remember recess, when it was fun and spontaneous, going out in the playground with your friends? When was the last time you joined a pickup game at the park? So most apps that promote physical activity kind of have cluttered information that is very tedious. And one thing that we found that most of these apps sort of lack is the social aspect that we once shared in recess. So how do we find a combination of the social aspect and that once nostalgic experience back in childhood like recess and combine them into a nice, really fun app?
Well, Myra, have you heard about Lapze? Not Lapze, but Lapze.
I believe I have. Jermaine. Lapze is a user-friendly app that provides users to easily join outdoor activities in real time. It also creates a social environment where other users can also join those outdoor activities. Also, for the competitive users, you can challenge other champions within your local neighborhood and show off your athleticism. So today we have a volunteer who's going to showcase our app.
All right. We gotta open Lapze first. Away with the mirror. Cool animations. Okay, so we have our avid Lapzer, and her name is Sarah. And on our first launch, we see a whole bunch of stuff that's happening on the screen, a whole bunch of icons and markers going all over the place. So events, the icons represent the event. So if it's a skating event, it's a skateboard. If it's a running event, it's a sneaker. Also, the events, they are live. So when you create an event, anytime a user joins, it shows up on the phone. So that soccer ball right there was just created. If she taps on it, see, it was created by Not Jermaine today at 8:27 p.m. Also, if you zoom back out, you'll see that there are other users who decided to share their location is shown on the map currently. So there's no basketball event. So Sarah, let's create a basketball event. So we are presented with this view controller or this view, and she has an option to select the basketball. She also has an option to share her location to make it public, and also share this event on Facebook so our other friends could join in. So she goes ahead and she clicks done, starts the event, and we're given this pop-up with Facebook, and she's now she could have a comment, and she posts this thing to Facebook. Facebook. So now we had that notification saying that it was shared, and this event is currently on Jason's Facebook. So in our events view, we have the option. We are able to see the time, how long the event has been going on for, and the distance. And enough about events. We're going to talk a bit more about challenges.
Okay, let's meet Jermaine with a G, not him. So Jermaine is very competitive, and he wants to set the bar high. As you can see on the pie chart in his profile, you can see he's a very active Lapzer. And also all these trophies he won for participating in different challenges. So we'll go to the leaderboard right now. And in the leaderboard, you can see all the champions currently. And also you can see Jermaine is right now in the second place, and he wants to be first. Who doesn't? So let's go. What he's gonna do, he's gonna participate in a challenge. So in the challenge tab, currently, can you go to the current place? Okay, because we are right now in Long Island City. I'm not sure. Yeah, okay. So, okay. All right, technical difficulties, I'm sorry. So if the, so currently we are on Foursquare, and you can see different challenges right now. And in the, if you click on a challenge, okay, we just popped up on the Foursquare. Yeah. So in the challenges, if it's a distance-based challenge, you can see the path of the challenge if you click on a challenge, and also current champion, and also the challenge name. So current champion is Myra on the demo Doom. So Jermaine wants to start the challenge. If you click on start, and he's right now on the challenge, and he can go on the path. If he's at the current ending point, and he clicks on end, he will end the challenge. So it has the option to keep the challenge, and nice try, he didn't beat the current champion, but if he beat the current champion, it will update him as the current champion on the challenge. So, I hope Jermaine will continue using our app. So.
Increased experience besides getting that location services ready, we'd like to implement these three main aspects: the health kit library, so we can collect user data and collect their health status. We also want to create a more robust friend system, so we want to include third-party social apps, and also for a more user-friendly app, and to make it easier for other users to use so that they don't always have to look at the phone, we want to implement other devices like the Apple Watch. And finally, we'd like to thank a couple of people, several people.
Yep. Jason, Liz, and Ben, we love you.
I also like to thank Shopkeep, Gabe, Master V, and Andrew for their input.
And finally, Stephen Neff, our graphic designer mentor, and everybody at C4Q. Thanks again, we are Lapze.
Fantastic demo. Thanks, guys. So I like the setup where you talked about that childhood experience of just going outside and playing, and then it switched into leaderboards and stuff that's more kind of the modern age digital stuff. How do you reconcile those different experiences, and how are you going to market that to the people out there?
Sure. I guess the main thing as children, we never lose competition. And we're trying to bank not only in the social aspect, but as adults, we're always, I guess, competing against each other. And it feels good and it's rewarding to, I guess, look good with your peer compared to your other peers. So might as well make it a competition, right?
I loved how the app felt very fun and full of personality. I feel often you open apps these days and it feels like every other one. So I appreciated the iconography and the design. I thought it was really great. How did you think about, or how do you think about focusing on one or two activities and say, this is for running competitions, or this is for basketball games, versus allowing users to do many? Walk me through how you thought about that.
Sure. So one of the implementations we wanted to put in this app was a filter kind of feature, so that if somebody wanted to do a running or biking event, they can do that. We had to limit it to static sports and distance sports, just because we weren't sure how the user data would look like until later. So version 2, we'd like to implement filter features.
Great.
How about invites? Did you think at all about like inviting people along somehow?
Yes, we would have loved to do that. We were actually looking into doing that by email. When you sign up, we do store your email and a couple of information in Firebase. So we were looking into that, but we just didn't get around to doing it. So we thought about that. Yes.
Thanks. Very cool. Fun idea.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, thank you, Lapze. All right, next up is Storytell.
Take one. Hello. Ooh, how are y'all doing today? All right. All right, got a little enthusiasm. We are Storytell, a choose your own adventure app. The idea is from the 80s, but we've brought it to the digital age. Now, some brief introductions from the millennials that developed it.
Hi, my name is Simone. As a former writer and help desk specialist, I identify with the notion of helping others express themselves through technology. Since joining C4Q, I found that my interests have come full circle, except that I now have the ability to take the ideas in my head and create something tangible with it. After C4Q, I look forward to continuing to strengthen my skills as a programmer.
Hi, my name is Margaret. Before C4Q, I was an illustrator and book designer. I've always walked the line between tech and art, but I didn't take the plunge into tech until about a year ago. I had a realization that tech is for everyone. This was while standing in the Coney Island Community Center as a tutoring volunteer with New York Cares. I had about 25 9-year-olds running back and forth between Lego Mindstorm's programming kits and computers, and they were just having so much fun. I took my realization, applied to C4Q, and was able to get into the iOS cohort. I now proudly serve as the cohort's class historian, and I look forward to a future as a product designer so I can share my passions of design, tech, and service. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Gabriel. I've taught English in Ecuador and East Harlem. Teaching has shown me that all students can be successful if you remove the obstacles in their path. So I approach coding in a very similar manner. I get to know my team, their strengths, their weaknesses. I identify problems, and together we come up with solutions. I'm a people-oriented coder. I believe in clarifying questions and teamwork. My interests are in VR, machine learning, and telling great stories. So after I get off this amazing team, I look forward to joining another team and keep on doing great work. Thank you.
Good evening, my name is Maria. I speak 3 languages, and thanks to C4Q, now I speak Swift as well. I was studying mathematics at Brooklyn College, And I've been always wanting to learn how to code. So when I found C4Q, I realized what a great opportunity is that for me. Plus, building apps, it's one of the coolest directions in tech industry right now. And I'm very happy to join that community. Also, for the future steps, I would like to create products that will benefit the community, which I'm very passionate about. Thank you.
All right, so our app can be used by all types of users, but today let's focus our user story on a child, a reluctant reader. So children at a certain age, picture books become a little too silly or a little too childish, and thick chapter books are just, too intimidating. So the Choose Your Own Adventure form is the perfect interactive solution for this problem.
However, current solutions require either visiting a web page or they use set templates which limit your imagination. As far as mobile solutions, there were none until now.
Storytell, it's a story engine and a literacy solution where creators can write, readers can read interactively, and everyone can create and share their own stories.
Yes, the stories are yours. You get to write them. So imagine a story filled with you, your friends. It's filled with inside jokes, scenes from your life. Now imagine a child is doing the same thing and is unknowingly boosting their literacy. That is something Storytell can make into reality. Oh.
Okay, now let's take a look at Storytell.
Yeah. All righty. It looks like we are having a little problems with the iPhone. Jason's gonna have to log in. Great. Once you boot up the app, you arrive at your bookshelf. We have some great articles, great stories today. I can see some of you are enjoying the 50 Shades of fan fiction. But for the purposes of this demo, why don't we stick to something PG? Let's do Red Riding Hood. Oh, written by Gabriel Breshears, a new upcoming author. All right, so once upon a time, Red was running late for demo day at Squarespace. That's important. After surviving a harrowing visit to grandmother's house, Red decided to become a developer and stay away from the woods. That's a good decision, Red. Standing next to Lincoln Center, Red debates whether to cut through Central Park or take the one to Squarespace. Now, if you've ever read a Choose Your Own Adventure story, the great feature about it is that you can peek. If you have multiple options, you can kind of cheat and look ahead at the better outcome. We've also implemented a similar feature for Storytell. So if you long press, you'll be given a few lines of text and be able to tell if you want to do that option or not. Why don't we take a look, Margaret, at take the one. Red forced her way into a full subway. All right, let's take a look at Cut Through Central Park. A wild talking wolf appears? What? What do you guys want to do? What are you feeling? Wolf? Oh, you guys are monsters. You know what happens when we see the wolf. All right, a wild talking wolf appears. The wolf unhinges her jaw and devours Red whole. Grinning, the wolf says, "Now that's a spicy meatball." You know, that's a pretty horrible ending, right? Why don't we edit that? So if you double click, you can edit your own stories. I think, yeah, let's go with yum. Why not? That's what the story was missing. Then if you hit the edit button at the top, your change is saved. Margaret, will you go back for us for a second and then go forward again with the wolf? As you see, your change is saved. Oh, all right. Well, I don't know about you guys, but the screen's a little bright. Let's get a little more intimate. That's what's called night mode. Oh no, we didn't get too intimate. There we go. Right. All right. Basic functionality of a reader. I know. Let's continue. Let's go next. To be continued. Download the app to read the next exciting installment of Red Riding Hood. So, Simone, if you will take it away with next steps.
So Storytell has an exciting future ahead of it. Social media integration will allow for easier sharing of stories by our users. Also, we have image and voice integration as well for building a richer narrative. And lastly, we plan to include filtering by genre and audience so readers of all ages can enjoy Storytell.
Storytell is a place where creative writing and stories come together. We would like to thank C4Q, our dedicated mentors, and Squarespace for giving us this opportunity. Thank you.
That was fantastic. As a father of both a reluctant reader and a writer, two different kids, they would really love this. They would like to write stories for each other, I think. I wanted to, you kind of briefly showed some of the editing. Have you thought more about kind of a richer, like writing interface that's not just kind of edit a story, but like where you can kind of publish whole, like you have a whole concept that you want to go through?
Yeah,
Would that
that's
look pretty
actually
different?
version 2.
Okay.
Yeah, we have plans for a full integration of like pictures, videos, voice, as well as branching. So in the story, if you notice that, there are 2 branches, users will be able to create multiple branches and have a richer story for themselves.
Great, nice.
I'm also a parent of a 5-year-old who's not a reluctant reader, but this is fantastic, you guys, because I can see sharing some stuff that's special to my childhood in a way that's accessible to my digital 5-year-old. Social media integration sounds very interesting. I could see you taking it all the way to like, the same, different versions of the same stories that people vote on. Have you thought about what versions of social media integration you would do?
Well, for us right now, as far as our group discussion, we thought about like Facebook or Twitter, like the more popular social media apps, but I don't know if anyone else wants to.
Yeah. Ultimately, we kind of want to have our own little social platform, especially with Firebase. We can have users log in and share their stories, or you can keep them private and just between you and your son. So, yeah. I'll hold it.
What's really fascinating about just the presentation, the product, and also the entire package is it has a sensibility of a mathematician, of an illustrator, of a writer, and a teacher, right? And it's very rare to find those 4 people in a room. Even less rare that they learn how to code and then build something together. So what is it? Something I'm just totally different. What is it that you guys learn from each other? And that really went into this product, something that you're really proud of?
Yeah, I'll try to answer and then I'll pass the mic down. My team was very strong. I learned things from each and one of them. Margaret is an amazing designer and the whole look of the app is up all her. And she also coded as well, which was amazing. Sorry. Simone, she did all the logic. She connected the branching stories and built our model, and that was just fantastic. And Maria was our jack of all trades. She's working on some of our future features and was just really positive influence. And so for me, it was just great to see them all and just make this app together. And I'll pass it down so they can talk.
Hi, so what I think I learned from each of my team members is patience. Patience gets you through a project. Sometimes you're tired, sometimes you feel like, oh, it's not working, but patience got us through here. So I mean, besides all the technical skills I learned from them or design, again, I would like to emphasize Margaret's great design. And Gabe explained me a lot of things that maybe I didn't really quite get in the first place. Also, Simone really got me through this. Again, patience is the key for everything. Everything else you can learn. As long as you have patience and curiosity, you will make it through.
Thank you, Maria. My team, honestly, patience is one, but just dedication is the other. Like, this project for us was definitely very interesting. It was very different from anything that we had done before in like previous group projects. And initially, we all had to overcome so much, but my team is extremely dedicated. They put in long hours, and I learned so much from them, especially like core skills as well.
I second everything that my teammates said. I would like to say that Simone, I think, pioneered the post-midnight GitHub commit. So I learned that from her. But I think the real thing that I learned was that my team brought out the best in me. We went through about like 37 versions of this logo, and they kept pushing me to be better and better. And with their help and with the help of the design mentors, I think we came out with something really great as far as the look of the app, the slides, of everything. So I'm really happy to have had a chance to work with them.
Thank you, Storytell. And we have one more treat for you tonight, Wanderpost.
Stumbling upon a new connection can be one of the most impactful experiences in a person's life. Finding a lost letter in a bottle, a bar of soap in a tree, opening your lunchbox as a kid to discover a post-it note from your parents wishing you well, these moments can be surprising and exciting. In today's world of social media, we are encouraged to hunt for connections, to dissociate from our environment to foster new connections, often taking away the magic of discovery. Luckily, there is a team of young developers out there that wants to change this bad.
Hi, my name is Tom. Originally from England, I worked in container shipping and logistics. Figuring out how to load priority containers for easy access while optimizing vessel space was engaging, but it lacked creativity that I always desired. I moved to New York to marry my wife, and with a new life and a new location, I wanted to start a new career. I've always been interested in technology and enjoy solving logical problems, so I decided to become an app developer. I dedicated myself to learn to code. I found C4Q and Access Code, and now graduated from the program, I look forward to building quality applications and working with smart, creative people.
Hi, I'm Liam. At 16, I started working in fine dining restaurants, and I really loved that experience because I could use food to facilitate an open conversation between diners. However, not enough people got a seat at the table. So as I was looking into other ways to broaden this conversation, I explored my other passion, tech. And growing up in the 2000s, I saw the magic of technology and how it could involve everyone. So I tried to look for ways to learn how to code, tried to learn on my own. And in that exploration, I found C4Q. I applied and now I'm here. I hope to join a team of like rad developers that have the same passion of facilitating a global conversation.
Hi, I'm Anna. I graduated from Stony Brook University with a degree in biochemistry. I was working towards a master's degree, but one day I started to ask myself, if today's the last day of my life, would I want to do what I'm about to do, just like Steve Jobs? But the answer was no, because creativity was missing. I really love DIY projects and even remodel my parents' kitchen. Right, Dad? Yes, of course. So I discontinued my higher education plans and continue to search for a career that I'm passionate about. This is when I discovered coding, and I want to create my own apps. When I found C4Q, I was so excited. I joined the fellowship program and became a developer. In the future, I'm looking forward to work in a company where I can develop my own apps as well as not my own apps, develop their apps, of course, of course, and express my creativity. Thank you. Yes, a better life.
Let me tell you about the app we've been working on, Wanderpost. Unlike most other social media, which encourages you to interact from afar, Wanderpost enables users to directly annotate their life in their current location in augmented reality. I can make an announcement at City Hall, or I can leave a note at the tree that my sister and I used to climb in the summer of '99 in case she walks past. Let's see what that looks like.
Hi, I'm Anna in Squarespace. I'm so excited. I'm gonna leave a Wanderpost right here, right now. Let me open the app.
When Wanderpost launches, it opens up into a fixed map view showing your location and any posts that are within a 100-meter radius. You can filter these results by all users, your friends, or personal posts left just for you.
Oh wow, look at all the posts around me. Let me take a look at the posts in AR, augmented reality.
Wanderpost uses core location and core motion to track the device's movement. It also uses the compass and gyroscope to tell which way the device is pointing and its degree of tilt. Using this information, it calculates if and where a post should be displayed on the screen. These posts are interactable as well. You can tap on them to present a detailed page where you can see and leave comments.
Oh, Film Forum is nonprofit movie theater. Watch independent film, support this art. Okay. Ta-da, I just left a post. I mean, not a post, a comment. Okay, so right now, I'm gonna leave my own post. I'm gonna leave a post, personal post to Liam, because Liam comes by Squarespace very often. Ooh, Liam comes out. But no, I wanna share with everyone, because everyone should know this. The lotion in Squarespace bathroom is so nice. Check it out. You're welcome. Woohoo. Dropped, yay.
Sometime in the future,
I've been wandering around the West Village and I just arrived at Squarespace, and using Wanderpost, I saw that Anna left a message about lotion in the bathroom. I'm gonna leave her a personal post for next time she's here.
when you leave a personal post in Wanderpost,
Ooh.
to your friends, let them know that they received the post. So they will actually have to go to the location to see the content.
Oh, Liam left me a message. Awesome. Let me go to my profile.
When you go to the profile view, you're greeted with a feed of all of your friends' activities. You can see your post history and any comments, or you can see personal posts left just for you.
Oh, nice. Liam Kane left me a message. Wanderpost nearby Vendrick Street, Manhattan, New York, 10014. Awesome. Let me take a look at the post in AR. Ooh, wow. Oops, where are you? Hello. Oh no.
It's up there.
Oh. Yo, there's none in the men's room. Really? Can you steal me some for me? Oops. Women's bathroom only? Ta-da.
And that is our app. Thank you.
Thank you.
Moving forward, we would like to enable the users to post images and videos. We would also like to move away from our current database, iCloud, to include other platforms such as Android and maybe even computers or websites. We would also like to integrate emerging technologies such as Apple Watch and Google Glasses or Magic Leap, if you've heard of that, to make the AR experience a little bit more seamless.
Yes, we would like to thank you, C4Q, instructors Jason, Ben, and Louis, as well as the tech mentor Rob, our design mentors Steve and James, and panelists, and the Squarespace as well. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Thank you.
So curious as you've been, first of all, I really like the augmented reality. I think it's a really interesting use of the gyroscope technology and very impressive that you were able to implement that in such a short period of time. As you think about the different use cases for friends and public and in between, what was most compelling to you guys? Did you notice that one of the three kind of stood out as, oh, wow, it's actually really fun to leave notes for friends, or, you know, actually, I talk to my friends on all these other apps. I prefer strangers. What did you guys notice as you're demoing it?
I really liked using all of them. I really like leaving like little notes for people, like my friends, when I'm doing stuff. I also like letting people know some of my favorite, like my friends know some of my favorite dishes, the places I've cooked or places I've eaten. And then sometimes I just like to let everyone know my opinion on something.
Is the lotion in the bathroom actually really good?
Yes, indeed.
Yes, indeed.
It smells good.
So you shared this with your friends and actively used it. With how many friends have you shared this app? Is this?
We haven't shared this with many friends at the moment.
Just me, Liam, Jason, and some dummy accounts as well.
That's great. Just a slightly different question. The app, your stage presence, there's a certain attitude about it, which is very actually, in addition to developing a technical product, you also have a total personality as part of this. How did you guys bring that into alignment?
We're really, really awkward.
This was the only option.
Yeah. We don't have another Steve.
Yes. Yeah. Awkward is my another nickname.
I don't need it.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Wanderpost. And thank you so much to all of our teams. And congratulations on your fantastic apps. That was the last of our demos. But how about one more round of applause? Which, 2 rounds of applause, yeah. Now I'd like to invite Juke back to the stage.
Great, thank you. Thank you to all the devs for all your amazing apps. Let's give them another round of applause. And now I want to kind of take a moment and invite kind of the panelists come on stage, if you would. Share some of your thoughts on things that you've seen tonight, as well as any kind of words of advice to our developers as they start, on their careers in tech. So tonight you saw the marks the end of these capstone projects, but it's also the start of the job search process for all the developers here. So over the next few months, the whole C4Q staff mixed into team will be working with our devs and all the partner companies to help everyone find jobs, launch their careers, and become leaders in tech in the future. So this next phase we think will be both exciting and intense, much like the rest of Access Code has been. So I'd love to ask the judges, if you would, share a little bit about both what you saw and if you have any advice on your own personal journeys in technology, and any words of wisdom you can on how they could be successful in the next part of their journeys. Yeah. Well, welcome to panels. Would you like to start out?
So first off, I just want to say like how impressed I am with the quality of the presentations, the quality of the products. I've been doing this for a while at a bunch of other places, mainly like alma maters of mine. Some of those are graduate institutions where people have been doing this professionally for years, spent months preparing. And this was just like extremely impressive and cleared that bar. And that's just, you should be very proud of what you've done. Really amazing. So I'm like the product guy here. So I think no great pearls of wisdom, but what really stood out for me that was kind of impressive, and I think something that you can take with you, is maybe two things. One is a strong point of view, and the second is frameworking. So a strong point of view in why you're doing what you're doing, in the aesthetic, the look and feel, the social cause, the reason you think it's important, the opportunity that you see. I think where that came out, it was really powerful. And that storytelling and that passion, when it comes to interviewing or to convincing organizations, especially kind of mission-driven ones, that you belong there, that you fit in, that you can help make an impact, that point of view is critical. So I really applaud the folks who did a good job with that, and take that with you and use that in interviews. That's an awesome skill set. The frameworking side, I love that people started with problems and then moved to solutions. Again, take that with you, not to just technical interviews, but just to have that rational progression through a discussion of, hey, look, this is what we wanted to do because we saw an opportunity. We started with problems. We do this at Facebook every day. Then we talked about, why is this an important problem? How do we know we've solved it? Are there metrics and data? And then we got to execution and strategy of, okay, here's a plan and here's how we execute on it. So that structure that I think is obviously you're doing it because these presentations that came through in the presentations, that's super helpful in like career searches and approaching these interview situations in a more structured way.
Want to add my congratulations again. Super impressive projects. So my company, we make an app called Paper, and we've been sent off to like Cupertino many times to present to Apple. And so the presentation skills that you guys are learning in addition to the coding are really useful. They lock you in a basement, not a basement. They bring you out, and they literally, this happens so many times where like you have like 5 minutes to prepare, and they have to like give a pitch, and then they take you back into the site, in the secret lab, and then they bring you back out, and this goes on for weeks on ends. Like, and at some point, like my developers basically beg me to take them back home again. But so you're learning really useful skills. Presentations is key towards this. Also want to congratulate everyone here on choosing computer science and engineering. So I myself, I had the good fortune, I was able to study design, economics, and computer science. And what I learned about those three studies is that computer science is actually the most interesting of those studies because it can't sit by itself. Computer science and the work you do as a computer scientist always requires the bridge to another discipline. It's computer science and politics, computer science and community, computer science and graphics. Computer science doesn't live by itself. And you guys all picked up that toolkit. Computer science and the work that you do then lives with people, right? As you build an app, that's something you can give someone and it lives on. And so everything like you have in your past and your history, the connections, the things that you learned that makes you unique, combined with computer science, allows you to have a massive impact. I heard many people on stage say the words that they chose this path because of the creativity and the expressiveness that they want to tackle. Do not let those be hollow words. It is so important for you to now take that toolkit and put it into use through your careers. And you have probably one of the most flexible glues, most flexible languages to have an impact. And that was the choice to study engineering and computer science. So as I said, I heard many people say creativity and expression is something that you guys sought. Don't let those be hollow words. Bring that creativity to the forefront, and make that come through your job search, because that's what people will resonate, and they want to see your ideas come to fruition as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing that stood out to me the most about all of your presentations was that the technology was very impressive, the presentations were polished, the product ideas felt like they had emotional resonance. But honestly, more than all of that, the thing that stood out most was all of you felt like teams that gelled really well and had unique dynamics and played off of each other and complemented each other. And, in terms of your job search, anyone that will tell you that it's a team sport, everything that we do, and you guys have learned that it's a team sport, and I'm sure, it was not always as seamless as it felt on the stage, but I just want to congratulate you on not only learning how to code and learning how to come up with a product idea and articulate it, but learning how to work together with different disciplines and as a team. And for me, that relative to other demo days I've been to shine through a lot more than other presentations I've been to, where it feels like they're egos that are, kind of feel like they did more than others. You felt like teams. And I thought in terms of your future job search, I think any employer is looking for people that can be team players. Unlike George, I had the extreme misfortune of majoring in sociology. And I enjoyed it, but in terms of practical careers, there was not much for me, especially because I had a 2-point-something GPA. So this experience really brings back memories, because my tech career actually got started at an event similar to this. It was much less impressive, but it was a weekend event. I decided to leave school because I didn't have much on the sociology 2-point-something GPA career path, and realized technology was inspiring for all the reasons you said, but didn't have any practical skills. And I remember hearing the judges' bios at the beginning kind of frustrated me. It just felt so unattainable, even though it's what I wanted. And flash forward from that demo day and that event, I met my 2 future co-founders, and everything got started there. And everything got started, it's easy, I guess, to read a bio for us at the beginning of these, and it seems so far away, but I can tell you we're not that much further ahead of you. And I think the thing to remember is, which it was exemplary in all of your presentations, is as I've gone back and talked to people that really mentored me and really took a chance on a sociology dropout, and I asked them why. They didn't cite my product intuition. They mostly cited things like passion and earnest excitement and curiosity and humility. And you guys all expressed that in your presentation. So I would say this is a kick-ass start. You guys exhibited the qualities that you'll need to go forward and just be relentless. And, I think what you want to achieve is not that far away. And that sounds very cliche, and maybe it is, but I can tell you because I got started at an event like this. So congratulations.
You guys are all a true inspiration. I have a special respect for people who are career changers or career shifters. I feel like I started as a math and computer science major, but I feel like I kind of fell into that and then grew to love it with time. People who made a conscious choice and said, this is what I want to do. I feel like that's the first step towards a big journey, and you can go to wherever you want to go. Getting ready for today, we were talking about what are the good things that useful things that we could tell you. And I thought, what are the things that I wish someone told me when I was just starting my career? So I took a couple notes on things that I wish someone told me and that I'm hoping to pass on to you. You will have moments when you think that you're missing something to be the developer that you want to be. I think all of us have had that and will continue having those. Remember that time and practice is going to fix it. Stick to it. A lot of the people that you look at and admire are not what they are because they were born with it, or they put a lot of hours into it. They started when they were teenagers. You're going to get there. Give it time. Stick to it. It is okay to give up sometimes and ask questions and ask others for help. So stick to your journey. Don't feel like you have to be too proud and do everything by yourself. Rely on others to help you. Get comfortable with yourself. Find a mentor that makes you feel supported and not just challenged. There's always a more perfect way to do something. So you have to find a happy medium. And a lot of real life development out there is about finding a good enough solution, which does the job before you run out of time. All of you guys demonstrated your skills at that today, which was fantastic. If you, unless you want to work by yourself, which is kind of a lonely and difficult path, one other important skill is going to be learning how to play well with others and how to work on teams. You guys were all amazing at doing that today. Really inspiring how you embrace that teamwork so early on. And the last thing is, along the lines of it gets better, it really does get better. You're going to all have days that are not good and days when you feel like you took a step back. You're going to get rejections from companies. Overall, just remember that it keeps getting better. There's going to be some bumps, and then you get up and you keep going. Good luck, you all.
Yeah, so I mean, I'll say the same thing to kick off that everyone else said, which is that some of these apps, all of these apps, I mean, like they would have been impressive if they'd been built in 6 months, let alone in a month by people that just learned iOS 6 months ago. I'm kind of in awe. I expected, I never expected to see stuff like this. I've been in the New York tech scene now for more years than I really want to count, I guess. And I've kind of got to watch it from when I graduated from school. I grew up out here. I expected that I was just going to have to move to California and like live in Seattle or live in San Francisco in order to get and to do meaningful and interesting work in computer science. And I was lucky enough to kind of catch the Google train as it was starting to leave the station in New York, and that was really exciting. But even then, it was just this very limited kind of tech community in New York. And I don't think I could have imagined that, now like more than a decade later, we would have programs like this. We would have amazing product leaders. We would have amazing, passionate community leaders, that I'd be able to hire people like Giovanni. Shout out there, man. Hey, this is just kind of emblematic of the way that New York is going. And Silicon Valley might have 30 years on us in terms of being able to build great products, but I feel like we're catching up at this point and we're going to pass them. So you guys are a big part of that. In terms of advice for, how to kind of continue the journey that you're on, when you're working on these things, and I saw this again and again, you are the advocate for the user. Don't let someone else ever kind of bring you the story from the user and be a go-between. Like always be out there talking to the person that is your user. Be your own user, obviously. Like almost everyone here seemed like they would be a user of their own app, which is the best way to go about it. But don't ever let some other person, some PM or some operations person or some marketer bring you the story that you're going to be solving as a product or an engineer. Always be the person that's actually going out and sitting down with the user, advocating for them, and making sure that you really understand what the problem is that you're solving, and you'll build the best products that you possibly can. So keep up the great work.
Thank you. Let's give our panelists a round of applause. If you guys want to exit, sorry. Thanks, everyone. I think this is a moment to kind of also remind everyone what tonight signifies. Thank you all the great comments. It's the next, obviously, step in everyone's career search and the next kind of phase of the program. And it's also more than just a culmination of a project and a showcase of talent. People are starting new careers. We have some amazingly talented students here. They're going to be graduating in a few months. And also, everyone is kind of contributing back, not only the panelists here and helping the community grow, but our students themselves are paying it forward and giving opportunities to others. Actually, one step back. Yeah, so this is a pioneering class. As I mentioned, we've seen alumni here involved. Excited to give back in a number of ways, whether through mentorship, people teaching in the program, volunteering by every other means. And this class, 3.0, is the first class that's pledging their support for C4Q and the success of future cohorts by also committing to paying it forward. And so this idea grew out of community, was inspired by Luke, one of our previous graduates. And he was part of our Android cohort and a leader throughout the program. When he gained his first job as an Android developer at OkCupid, he decided to donate his first paycheck to our organization. It was unprompted, pretty significant, and also got OkCupid to match the contribution. And I think more important than the financial contribution, it really demonstrates, I think, the values and sense of community we're trying to instill by here and everyone here tonight, and the sense of community that exists among everyone. And we're really proud that all the developers and students and alumni are so committed. And are building upon kind of this tradition that Luke and everyone else beforehand has started, whether in this way or many others. So this culture of giving us support, whether it's financial so that more people have the same opportunities, helping new graduates, finding companies at the jobs at your company now, or by teaching others. They're all so valuable in terms of how we can grow our community and ultimately creating this tech community in New York that's representative of our society that we all believe in. And so, yeah, I want to really thank everyone for doing that. It's incredibly powerful so that more people, their peers and mentors, members of our larger community can also take advantage of programs like this with their contributions. And so tonight's a milestone and we're just getting started. So if anyone and additionally want to either volunteer or donate, talk to members of our team, whether myself, Joey, or Rosa. There's so many ways of getting involved. You heard from heard about some of the amazing mentors that were participating here tonight that made all of this possible. And also please consider making a financial contribution as well so that more people can have access to these opportunities. And we have these amazing talented graduates who will be looking for jobs very, very soon. So if you're a company looking for talent, please find Ariel, Liz, or Harry on our team to talk about ways we can work with your company to hire one of our graduates. And our students are working at some of the most amazing, the best companies here across New York City and across the country. And we love to work with you to place some diverse talent across companies, whether at your company or companies that you know. Last, this is really a team effort. So you heard from some of the instructors, but we really have a really amazing team and a huge staff that kind of made tonight possible. So big thank you to also Jason and Lewis. You saw their incredible dedication in the class. That was evidenced by all the great apps that were created here tonight. And I think without the hard work with the entire team, the program obviously wouldn't be possible. So I want to give it a little shout out to the team. Everyone give everyone a round of applause. And then a special shout out also to Ben, who's our program manager. He's been working behind the scenes. You haven't seen him on stage, but as a program manager, really holding the class together, and he organized tonight's event and made tonight possible. So thank you, Ben. Last, just want to thank all of you by all of you being here tonight as participating audience. You're supporting the program and our work, and you're already supporting the program. Many of you are either a teaching assistant or helping build curriculum, or family or friends supporting some of the students that's going through the program, or a funder or supporter of our work. Thank you so much for being here and being a part of this. And I just like to, at the end, remind you to join us at the end, have a chance to meet some of the amazing developers that you've seen present, check out their apps and products. If you have individual thoughts and feedback, they're really amazing. And I hope you have a chance to meet them. Our warm thanks again to Squarespace. Thank you so much for being involved in the organization and hosting this amazing demo day tonight. And thank you for your generous support of our work. Thank you very much, and have a great night. So last, everyone, there's some refreshments over there. Enjoy the night. For staff, students, and mentors, we're gonna take some photos, panelists as well, if you don't mind taking some photos with us before everyone goes kind of hang out. Thank you. If you guys can come up towards the stage.
We did it. Oh, that was good.